To separate the body of the dragon from the wings, I will bevel on the outside of the body, using the rule where we bevel away from that which we want to stand up. Now this wing stands above the other wing, so we will bevel on the outside of this wing. And this will separate this front wing from the wing and back. And now we will bevel the outside of the back wing, and that will separate that wing from the background. And this is how our dragon looks after we have completed all of the beveling. Please note that we now have quite a bit of dimension, and the dragon stands out from all of the leather in the background. Next, we will do some detailing with our modeling tool. We'll first, using the dotted lines I put on the wings as a guideline, we'll press, as you can see, and detail the ribs on the wings. And as you can see now with the modeler, I can cause the ribs to stand out slightly. Not necessary to do it real deep, just press it so that they stand out some, and then we can do some more detailing with the modeler, as you can see me doing here. What you really want to do on the wings is up to you. Sometimes you can use it. Sometimes you can make them look like feathers if you'd like to do that. We can also use the modeler to round off all the edges on our dragon, as you see me doing here. Do it very lightly. You don't need to press hard, just so that you can slightly round the edges and give it a more natural look. To do the eye, we will just use the pointed modeling tool, and don't press hard, just round off that cut a little bit. We'll do it on the top and the bottom. Don't press down at all on the eye itself, just round it off a little bit. And now in the corners, we can press down. And that's all we do to the eye. If you want, you can take your modeler and put some folds in the skin up there and over here on top of the head a little bit. And down here below the eye. Next, we will use tools number U710 and number U858. We will use these to do the scales. We will start by putting rows, as you can see, and then we'll sort of alternate. As we get near the top, we can make them smaller by not hitting as hard. Now we will put these scales all down the body and around over till we get near the tail, and then we'll switch to the smaller one. But in the meantime, we can go on down the body here. I would suggest that you start at the bottom and go up. Be very careful now that you don't hit other parts of the dragon. Now I'm going to start down here toward the tail, and I'm not hitting as hard now, and I'm putting them a little bit closer together. I'm now using the smaller of the mule foot tools, and I'm striking it very lightly and putting them closer together. Still alternating from side to side. As I approach the other tools now, I will begin hitting a little harder and spacing them further apart so that they blend in with the larger tool. And this takes care of the scales for the main part of the dragon. And now we will do some scales on the face, and we'll do them with the small one, and we'll hit very lightly. That's all we need to do to the face. We'll do the same thing with the legs. We'll stamp very lightly. And we will alternate just like we did with the larger one. We will also use the small mule's foot on the arm and do it very lightly. And this is how we look after we have textured the legs and the arm. I'm now going back to the swivel knife, and I will use it to make some random cuts here on the beard to make it look like hair. I will do the same thing with the hair on the top of the head. And this is how our dragon looks after we have done the hair on the head and the beard. The only thing left to do is to texture around the outside of the dragon so that he stands out from the leather even more. And to do that, I will use number M885 matting tool. Now, close to where the edges of the dragon are, I'll tip it, as you can see here, and I will sort of extend the beveling, and as we get closer outside, I will taper it off some and taper it to nothing. And in these areas in here, we will, of course, mat that down completely. Whenever we get close to the edge, we tip it up and then taper it off. Now we will do this all the way around our dragon. In the area in the mouth and in these pointed areas where our 885 was too big to get in, we'll use the A888 background tool. And I will just walk it like you see here, and in these tight areas, then we can kind of blend it out to the 885. A good example is this area here between the point of the tail and the body of the dragon. Is we need to get that down, but it's too narrow for our 885, and if you'll notice, by walking this tool, I'm able to blend it quite nicely with the M885. Same thing is true this area in here. And that's how you carve a dragon in leather.